How's it going, all you beautiful people? Welcome back to another week of talking about the Pokemon market. But before we talk about the Pokemon market, I just had a quick thought. Do you guys think I should put something behind me, like some Pokemon boxes? Because I'm just in like a corner of a room. So I watched some Pokemon videos, and there's a lot of people that will post or have a cabinet of Pokemon boxes or a row of these expensive Pokemon boxes. And I don't know, as a viewer, maybe it adds some verification to them, but I'm just in a corner of my room just filming. So maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll get some of my boxes I have laying around and get a little cabinet, put it behind me, film not in a corner of a room, and go from there. But let me know what you think. That's just a random thought, because I've actually watched videos where someone had a whole bunch of boxes behind them as they film, and through time they would slowly take out the boxes, and eventually there'd be almost nothing behind them. And if you look at their comments section on their YouTube videos, there's just a whole bunch of people talking about, where did the boxes go? Do you not believe in Pokemon anymore? Do you think Pokemon's gonna go to $0? Did you sell your whole collection after telling us to buy? I don't know. I just think it's really funny. But anyways, back to the Pokemon market. So towards the end of 2025, people were basically saying Pokemon market's gonna crash. Pokemon market's gonna go to MSRP pricing. Everyone that's hoarding Pokemon products are gonna lose all their money because Pokemon's gonna go to $0. Again, not everyone said that, but there are a lot of people that were worried about all of the news and people talking about the Pokemon market taking a dip. So what I decided to do was, starting January 1st, I got the price of every single ETB from Scarlet and Violet base to Phantasmal Flames. And what I'm going to do every week from January 1st, so I got it January 1st, January 8th, January 15th, and January 22nd, is getting the price of all of those ETBs week by week, just to see how the market's performing. Because I feel like a lot of people make videos and they'll say their opinions. And it's okay to have opinions. I mean, when you post something online, a lot of times it's opinions. But one thing is, you can say the Pokemon market's going to crash, the Pokemon market's going to go up. We don't really know. But one thing is for sure, if you have data showing numbers of these products going up or going down, then that's what actually happened over time. So that's what I decided to do. So if you look on the screen, here's all the ETBs from Scarlet and Violet base. I ordered it from the percent year-to-date change, highest to lowest. And you'll see the prices of all of these from January 1st to January 22nd. And I just want to talk about a few of these. So Scarlet and Violet base Miraidon. And before I get into this, how I got the pricing is, I would go to these boxes and then choose the lowest listing on TCG Player that makes sense. So for example, if there's a low listing where they put an ETB and say there's a rip in the ETB, I'm not going to take that price just because he will typically sell ripped ETBs for cheaper than normal ETBs. But anything within reason, I take the cheapest price. And I just do that because it just makes getting the prices every week easy. I mean, just to stay consistent as well. But just to go over this list, so Scarlet and Violet base Miraidon, it hasn't changed week over week, but it is up 23.23% year to date. And there's not much volume to this, so I mean, it has gone up, but not many of these sell. 151 is going absolutely crazy. So if you see the 151, at the beginning of the year, it was $375.87. Next week, it went to $377.98. The week after, $407, and today is $445.98. That's a 9.58% week change and 18.65% year-to-date change. And these are some big numbers. I mean, start of the year of 151 ETB was $375.87. And it's gone up 18.65% from that point until now. And it's only been 3 weeks. So what do you think about that? That's so interesting. But one thing to keep in mind is, I feel like a lot of people are buying 151. One, because, I mean, 151 is what a lot of people grew up with it as children. So it's kind of what brought a lot of people back into the hobby. Or if someone comes back to the hobby, they'll be interested in 151 because it has the original 151 Pokemon. And it has really nice cards, really nice pull rates. The most expensive card in 151 is a Charizard, but I mean, it's not worth a whole bunch. It's just there's a lot of good hits that you'll probably get as you're opening the packs, more likely than like a Prismatic Evolutions, which will just make you cry to sleep. But one thing to keep in mind is in April, everything from Scarlet and Violet base to Paldean Fates will be going out of rotation. And just to clarify, because some people have commented on this and they're right, going out of rotation means that it's going out of rotation on the TCG card game. So everything with the letter G, and that's everything from Scarlet and Violet base to Paldean Fates, it will be going out of rotation and it will no longer be playable. But up to this point, that also means that everything with the letter G on the bottom left of the card, so Scarlet and Violet base, Paldea Evolved, Obsidian Flames, 151, Paradox Rift, and Paldean Fates. Up to this point, not only do cards go out of rotation, but this is also the point where Pokemon stops reprinting these sets. So it's safe to assume that in April, all the sets from Scarlet and Violet base to Paldean Fates will be going out of print as well. And that's probably why 151 is going up in price as well, because people know that they only have 3 more months, and then there might be some packs laying around in the Pokemon warehouse that they'll put in collection boxes, but they're not going to reprint 151 anymore if they follow the same trend. So 151 is just going crazy. I mean, 151 ETB hasn't been restocked in a long time, so there is a premium to it, but $445.98 for a 151 ETB is insanity. Surging Sparks, if you watch my first video, this was one of the ones I thought was underrated because it was the second cheapest ETB on this list at the time. It's all the way up to $79.88 now. That's a 15.52% year-to-date change, and I think this will continue to go well up. I think Surging Sparks dipped a whole bunch because there's so much Surging Sparks on the market, but I do think that Surging Sparks will do well over time. It'll recover well as ETBs are no longer in stores and no longer in these huge, massive reprints, no longer in vending machines. I can see the Surging Sparks ETB prices going up rapidly after that point. So that is something that's interesting. The ones that I did say were underrated to me were Surging Sparks, Twilight Masquerade, which is up 6.07% this year so far, and then Prismatic Evolutions. So Prismatic Evolution is up 8.81% weekly, or week from last week. So it went from $124.97 to $135.98. And the reason why I said that Prismatic is also underrated is I think Pokemon has something for Prismatic Evolutions. They printed Prismatic Evolutions crazy amounts last year. Like, it was like they would say, let's reprint White Flare and Black Bolt, and then add in Prismatic Evolutions. Let's reprint this set, but let's make sure to reprint Prismatic Evolutions. So Prismatic Evolution had crazy amounts of restocks last year. There's even rumors that they're going to have restocks entering this year, early this year. And the crazy thing about Prismatic Evolutions is even with all the reprints, the prices are still staying strong. So I think Prismatic Evolutions is a pretty sleeper set in the sense of you hold it for 2-3 years, it'll go up a decent amount in price. But just since January 1st, Prismatic Evolutions is up 10.96%, which is, I mean, a good change. Other ones that I want to talk about, Destined Rivals. I did see that Target had a Destined Rivals ETB restock. I wasn't able to get any because Target's impossible to get stuff from. You always get that error where bots are overloading the system. And also, Target had there was speculation that Target would require you to get the Circle 360 membership, which I made a video on yesterday. It looks like that might not be correct. So that's why it's important that when you do see rumors, wait a couple days because then the real stuff will come out. And there's also a lot of times where someone will be like, there's going to be a restock of 151 ETBs, but then nothing ever comes of it. So always take rumors as rumors. They're not always going to be true. But Destined Rivals up 14.25%. Week change 2.68%. Destined Rivals will be a hot set in the future. I mean, people love their Team Rocket sets. The Mewtwo's a nice card. There's a lot of nice cards inside Destined Rivals. Another thing is Paldean Fates. It's up 13.55% year to date. It went from $264.20 on January 1st to $299.99. So it's at the $300 mark. And this is because Paladin Fates is one of the sets that is going to go out of rotation in April. So there's probably going to be no more restocks if Pokemon continues their trend of not having restocks when they take the sets out of rotation in TCG. And Paladin Fates is a popular set. It has really sought after cards like the Bubble Mew. So I'm not really surprised that Paladin Fates has gone up in price. So these are just some of the things. If you look, I ordered this from highest to lowest year-to-date change, and you can see that there's only been 4 ETBs from the start of the year that have fallen, and they haven't fallen that much. I mean, 0.32% down for Temporal Forces Iron Leaves, 0.76% down Mega Evolution Mega Lucario, 1.47% down Journey Together. I mean, those aren't really that big dips. Paradox Surf Roaring Moon has gone down 5.66% year to date, but there's not much volume to this. And this is one of the sets that's going to go out of print. So, I mean, I think Paradox Rift, once it goes out of set, we'll see a little bit of a bump in their price. But overall, from last week to this week, the overall price of all these ETBs has gone up 2.66%. And year to date, from January 1st, it's gone up 8.61%. So a little over $200. So we started, if you bought all the ETBs at the beginning of the year, you would have spent about $2,506. And today, it'd be worth about $2,721, $22. So that's a little market recap of these ETBs. But what do you think about the overall market? I think the data is suggesting that prices are stabilizing, demand is coming back, and it leads me to believe that prices will see a big bump in the near future. So you can't always take past data and say it's going to be the future data, but up to this point, the last couple of years, it kind of works where there's a big pump and then there's like a little correction, and then there's some stabilization of prices, and then there's going to be a big pump again, and then there's going to be a dip in prices, stabilization. But every single pump has had a higher low. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here. I thought that the dip would actually last a little longer. Not that I don't believe in Pokemon, but I didn't think that entering 2026 that we'd instantly see prices start to rise again, but that's what it's kind of looking like. And with the Senate Heroes coming out, I don't know if you know or have heard, but on a Senate Heroes release, they're initially only going to have the 3-pack tech sticker collection and the 2-pack blister. The 2-pack blister is delayed. So on release, they're only going to have the 3-pack tech sticker collection. So what a disaster of a drop. Senate Heroes might cause the Pokemon market to start going on fire again. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. The 30th anniversary is coming up. But let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you think about the Pokemon market. Let me know what you think is going to happen. Do you think prices are going to stabilize for the rest of the year? Go up, go down, go up a lot, go down a lot? Let me know what you think in the comments. And also, if you're still watching, I'm assuming it's because you liked watching. And if you are watching because you didn't watch, there's probably a lot better things to do than watching a video that you don't like. But I thank you so much for watching if you have come to this point. So if you're still watching, feel free to drop me a follow. Feel free to like this video. Your support goes a long way in supporting a small streamer like me. So I thank you very much for any support, whether it's just clicking the video and viewing it, listening to me ramble, liking the video, dropping me a follow, just anything. I appreciate it all. So thank you so much. I'll catch you next time, and have a great rest of your day.